All right, good evening, Mr. and Miss America and all the ships at sea. This is Rivetting Conversation, the only recap show for the best audio drama on the interwebs, Rex Rivetter, Private Eye. Yay. My name is Joe. I am your host from now until the next however many cases, because this is, there's no ending. The ending is missing, if anyone listened to it. So, and with us, we have, on the couch today, we have the lovely Rhiannon McAfee.
Hello.
And we have the beautiful Jennifer McKenna.
Hi.
The Brown Sisters.
The Brown Sisters, that's right.
Why don't you introduce yourselves, your characters?
Sure. I played Jenny McIntosh on Rex Rivetter, Private Eye. Rex Rivetter's Girl Friday. And this is my sister.
Antoinette. Cordovado. That's my name for right now.
Well, you get married and divorced so many times.
I know.
You can't
it's hard
even
to keep track. It is, but I am Jenny's younger sister, visiting from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Rhiannon, you are also the director of the episodes, right?
Yes, I'm the director of the episodes, and my husband and I run Downstairs Entertainment, which is the production company for Rex.
And you are currently downstairs, so welcome to you, viewer.
Yes.
And obviously listener, that's why you're here, so wonderful. So let's get right into it. First impressions of the episode. You both were in it, so obviously you listened.
Yes.
You listened to it. So any first impressions that you have, that things that are just really fun that you like about the episode right away? No spoilers because they've already seen it. They've already listened to it.
That's right. We loved our fight.
Yes.
At the beginning. That was probably one of the most fun things this entire season to do.
It was, from rehearsal through recording. It was awesome. It was super fun to fight with her.
Awesome.
Because we don't ever fight. So
No,
but it was just it was a fun fight. We just had this kind of chemistry there that just worked right away. It was nice.
Yeah. We've never gotten to work together before. I mean,
really?
Well, Jen's produced some of shows that I've been in, but we've never been on stage together or in a film together or gotten to act together. So this was really, really fun.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. I really liked in that particular sequence, it's very it's of the period. Like you just boom, 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 everything. Both of you guys telling, I think it's Abe to shut up. It's like, shut up, Abe. Which, can Abe shut up already, guys? Like, it's, what's this
Poor
man's
Abe.
game? I know. What's this man's game already?
Right? He keeps popping up.
It does.
And so, any other impressions? Anything else? I particularly like how Rex basically invokes civil rights, because he doesn't have a problem with Levi. He has a problem with Italians.
Yes, that's one of my favorite lines from this episode is you got a problem with my kind? No, I got a problem with Italians.
It's like, I don't have a problem. I was just as soon as Tony Ham, who plays Levi, he just says, is it because I'm a Negro? I was like, oh wow, that was really quick. I was like,
that escalated quickly.
I was like, that's not supposed to happen for a few more years, so I didn't know that was a problem. So, but yeah, it was that just goes to show the writing is really good. One thing that came to me, and this is going to be me just being really out there, but I recently sat down with Kurt Savage, who plays a police officer in the last case.
That's right, yes.
With Jimmy.
Who doesn't like pie.
Who doesn't like pie, and I was just
Who doesn't like pie?
I don't know.
I was
I'm
like,
American,
this is
right?
not... No, this is not something you would have directed. Someone does not like pie.
Right?
I was like, this is not... I don't know who directed that episode, but I was like, Rhiannon didn't do this.
No, I did, but it was hard. It was hard for me.
It's the writing. It's the writing, man.
Yeah.
I know. That writer.
How you can tell that he's not a likable character because he doesn't like pie.
Exactly. The other officer on the other case, likes pie a little bit too much, but I don't know if that's possible. But anyways, I was having dinner with Kurt, and we got onto this book called The Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. One of the words that they define, it's this guy who wrote a definition for all these different words, and one of the words that he defined, or Kurt mentioned, was the word sonder, S-O-N-D-E-R, and basically what that means is the realization that each random passerby is living a life as vivid and complex as your own.
Huh.
And
that sounds familiar.
Exactly.
To this episode.
And the whole time, so I'm listening to the episode, getting ready, and I'm like, oh, I can be pedantic right now, and and write that down as a little fun tidbit. But I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
But it was literally the perfect word to describe how Rex is feeling in that moment.
Yeah, and I love that monologue that he does where he's looking out at the streetcar and he's talking about exactly that. I wouldn't say the episodes have been getting more dark, but this is kind of, it's starting off as a little bit of a dark episode. Rex is in a mood.
Yeah, you can hear the rain. I think you can hear the rain in the background as well.
Dave Rivas.
Yes.
Dave Rivas is our sound engineer, Davey Boy Productions. And he just brings so much to all of the words and all of the acting. It's nothing without Dave, and he's such a perfectionist with it. And I know last week we got the final episode, and then of course I get a text from Dave that's just like, no, stop! I want to add the sound of Antoinette running her bath. Or maybe that was the week before, but yeah, it's he's always got like, no, I've got something else I need to add to it, and there's so much little stuff in there.
There is, and as a listener, you feel like you are there. In his effort and his instinct, in terms of little details,
absolutely,
sonic details like that. Really do, while you're driving in your car and you're listening to Rex Rivetter or wherever you are, you feel like you are transformed back in time to that particular place, and that is largely attributable to Dave.
Yeah. Absolutely. The story that I always tell about how awesome the sound production is the scene in, I think it's in the first case, the scene where Rex meets Burke for the first time, or we meet Burke for the first time.
Oh, yes, Burke.
And we're in the interrogation room, and you can literally hear the light bulb
yes.
with the sound. Mm-hmm. And it's just, because, I immediately think of a very small interrogation room with one light bulb hanging from a string that you pull, and you can hear it. After that, Rex goes to his office. You can hear the ice jingling, like ice jingling, and a drink being poured, because of course that's what he's doing after he came back from that. So those details are really what is making this such an enjoyable experience for me, because this is the first time I'm actually ever listening to an audio drama style podcast.
Okay.
So I think that's really wise, because you guys, I know how much has been put into the production, into the script, into the direction of it. So the it's just such a great world that you guys have built, and you guys should be really, really proud.
Thank you. We are very, very proud of it. And it's everybody has put so much into this. I mean, from Greg writing the scripts to all of the actors who I remember that one recording session that was in August, and it was like 8,000 degrees in the studio, and everybody was just sweating, and we had these fans set up, but we could only turn them on, so it was like after each take was done, we put on the fans, and everyone was just standing in front of the fans like, oh my god, we're going to die.
I remember that. I well, if you recognize my voice,
yes,
may or
right.
may not.
You are the star, Eugene.
I am Eugene in case 2 of The Poison Parakeet.
Poor heartbroken Eugene.
Poor heartbroken. I'm telling you, I keep bringing this back, and I'll bring it back every time I mention Eugene. That Eugene's got to come back. You know what, guys? If you feel like Eugene should come back, you need to tweet at Greg. Don't call him. You don't know his number, so tweet at him.
It's at Tarkin2K.
Yes. On the interwebs,
I just gave up Greg's Twitter.
The Facebook or the Twitter. Please, Eugene, just use that for Eugene. Make sure.
I tell you, if you keep doing that, Greg's gonna bring Eugene back and kill him.
Yes.
Maybe they find Eugene's body, and then, or Eugene comes back in like a Force ghost, a
zombie Eugene zombie apocalypse. There you go.
It'll be Rex Rivetter.
That's the spin-off series.
Treehouse of Horror, just
Treehouse of Horror.
It'll be
very
great.
Special Halloween episode.
Very special.
Eugene the zombie.
The Walking Dead featuring.
Rex is already haunted by ghosts already.
Rex is haunted by a lot of things.
Yes.
So one thing I want to talk about, your characters specifically. So I want to we'll talk a little bit about the episode and what's to come, and why people need to just keep listening, because I know it's gonna get good.
But it's not good now.
Well, here's the thing. You guys, you and Greg both told me that it was gonna blow up, and I don't know if that's literal or figurative, but it was gonna blow up at the end of this case. And I really I was like, oh, okay, well, I've been telling people, they keep saying that something really big's gonna happen. Something really big's gonna happen. It's gonna be like, you know, we're gonna start off the next season like the Dark Knight, and it's gonna be all like.
Oh my God.
So you know, everyone just needs to keep listening to it.
I'm
So
sorry that my dog is like buried
It's okay.
behind you.
That's usually what happens when I come over. The dog barks at me for 5 minutes and then is my best friend.
You know what though?
So.
While everybody's recording down here and in the waiting area upstairs, Mama Dog is very, very good green room company.
Yes.
She's very good. As long as you bring her bacon.
This is my side note, because I told Mama Dog if she was going to insist on sitting on the couch, I was going to tell this story. We were rehearsing. Yes, because I talked to my dog. We were rehearsing that fight scene.
Okay.
Down here. And Mama Dog was down here. And you know, we're all yelling at each other rehearsing, which Mama Dog did not like very much. I think it freaked her out. So as we were rehearsing and yelling at each other, my poor dog, with her tail under her leg, went scurrying off into a corner and took a crap. So we literally scared the crap out of my poor dog. And ever since then, every time we rehearse or record, I'm like, no, we have to take Mama Dog upstairs or she's gonna crap on the carpet.
She's gonna crap on the carpet. We can't have that. You know, it's the performance is bringing such emotion to this canine that,
like,
you
why
know,
is
crap
everybody
just has to
yelling
come
at
out.
my mom?
And in my household, that was just normal.
So Jen, before we started,
Sure.
we were talking a little bit about. I said that your accent was on point.
Oh yeah.
And you were like, well, yeah, because.
I'm from New Jersey.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
I'm from New Jersey. I'm from South Jersey, but a lot of my relatives are from North Jersey, and I went to college in New Jersey, and so I'm, you know, taking a lot from all these different places, mothers that I knew, friends that I had, and my own grandmother sometimes, and lots of TV characters too. I'm able to play on that. So little Janice from Friends.
Yes.
Little Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers, and a little
Okay.
bit of Fran Drescher.
Oh,
bit.
awesome.
Yeah, a little bit. So it's
I love Antoinette.
it's the first part I've ever been able to play where I actually could do that dialect and that accent, and it was super fun.
I just remember listening to it because, you know, I'm sure like most of our listeners, they're listening in their cars on their commute. My commute begins at 4, so it's perfect because if I get home before the episode's over, I know the traffic wasn't that bad. But I remember thinking, oh wow, like this accent is really good. and then I was like, I met Jen a few times. I don't think she's from New Jersey because I haven't heard that before. But you know, now it's
No, you know, when I was in school, I took some diction courses because I'm a lawyer just by trade, and I didn't think it was very becoming of lawyers to be all in court talking like this. You know, your honor. So I took some classes.
Pursuant to a writ of habeas corpus.
Seriously, are you kidding me? So I did try and practice to tone it down a little. So usually before this opportunity to actually act and do it, only when I talk to my mom, when I'm drunk, or when I'm mad is when it comes out. See, it's coming out now. I don't know why you're bringing it out of me. No, I'm not mad.
Are there certain words?
I wish I was drunk. No, I'm very nervous.
Are there certain words? Because sometimes I know that I have a friend who is from Long Island, and there are certain words or certain things she's talking about where she has to. It sounds like water.
Water.
Okay.
Water. Coffee. I say coffee. Just certain words like that. Definitely water. My boyfriend makes fun of me all the time. He's like, "We don't have water. What is water?"
And her boyfriend is in the show as
That's
well.
right. Yes. Yes. Steve is in the show.
Yeah.
Steve
One of my favorite. I no offense to Jenny or Antoinette or Rex even, but one of my favorite
creepy
characters.
mouth breather, Anthony Salerno.
Anthony Salerno. There's just like I can just see him as being. He's that kind of wise guy, that middleman who is very. He knows his place, but he also is trying to like be above his station. Yeah. Because like the way he talks, because he doesn't talk like the rest of the other Italians. He's not. No. He doesn't have that like Hey, what do you? Ooh,
no, he's very like he worked on that. Quite a lot to get that. But
he was very annoyed with us in our first rehearsal because he kept using contractions because it comes naturally, and he was specifically written by Greg without any contractions. So I kept having to tell him in the rehearsals. I was like, no. Anthony never uses the contractions. He never says don't. He always says do not. He never says isn't. He always says is not. That's a thing with him.
Yeah. And I think that's a formality that's keeping him at like in the good graces of his employer.
Yeah. Yes.
Whoever that employer may be.
Yes,
I don't
we
know.
don't know.
We find out. Keep listening.
I don't know.
We find out. So water, coffee.
Yeah, like, you know, I mean, I'm sure that Steve could sit here and tell you the words that I say that are...
He'd probably be delighted to.
He would be delighted to, because I think that I talk perfectly. Talk, there's another one, talk, always has a W in it for some reason when I say it, but yeah, there are things I don't let go of in terms of speaking that just are going to be with me forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
now,
okay.
we should probably, if Steve has a Twitter handle, we should say that right now so people can tweet at Steve to leave you alone.
Oh, no, it's okay. I don't even
The
have
internet
a Twitter
is
account.
a place for vigilante justice. We will get that for you.
Just post on Facebook, okay? Just
Yes,
tell him to be
post on
nice to
Facebook.
Antoinette.
Say, Anthony, leave Antoinette alone.
Yeah.
2 Tonys.
Yeah,
You creepy mouth breather.
I know, he's creepy, but he's just, you know, I mean, of course I'm partial. He's just so talented and so brilliant vocally, and he's an amazing actor.
He's really brought something to
Yeah.
Anthony. Steve's portrayal of Anthony scares me. He's that
It's
that
very
heavy
good.
breathing and that creepy tremble in his voice.
Yeah, I'm just like, are you about to put a quarter in and the curtain's gonna go up and someone's gonna be dancing? Like, that's what it sounds like when he has those really like intimate moments, and it sounds like someone who is not. It's just those gangsters who are not prone to violence, but like you don't know when they're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Oh, who's a good example of like anything Michael Clark Duncan, like Michael Clark,
right.
you know, Michael Clark Duncan in Daredevil specifically, where it's like there's you can see that they're prone to violence, but like they're not gonna go there, and you know, Anthony, no contractions, but also would never do that, would never do the dirty work himself either.
No. I think he's a really, really interesting character, and I look forward to future seasons where we get to find out more about Anthony and who he really is, because he's created such an interesting relationship with Rex, and it's clear that there's respect there, but they're on different sides.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? This is just me being a nerd. I feel like Anthony has the potential to be like. Does anyone watch Supernatural?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
like
Anthony.
like
a Crowley.
Crowley.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, Crowley.
So I feel like Anthony has this like Crowley potential, where Crowley's arc started as just like he's just a demon, but there's really like spoiler. I don't know if Greg's listening.
Supernatural spoiler alert.
But like you know, he could be eventually.
I'm all current on it, so you can tell.
He could be eventually, you know.
Yeah.
The king of hell. Like, he could go... Anthony Salerno has the potential to, like, get to that level, but, you know, you don't really know much about what's motivating him.
I think he has the ambition to do that. I think that's what he wants. He wants to go... I mean, we joke he's, you know, Anthony Salerno, he's the guy of the guy of the guy. And he wants to be the guy. And I feel like he's trying to work his way up, and it'll be interesting to see how things unfold with him and Rex over the next few seasons.
More successful probably than Lieutenant Burke at being the guy, but you know.
But I love Lieutenant Burke.
Yes.
I do too. His sermons.
I gotta tell you, the first time Nick Young, who plays Lieutenant Burke, busted out with one of those sermons, we were just all, wow, I'm in church now.
It was
like,
so,
I better sit properly.
Right, yeah, he's fun.
So Rhiannon, you play Jenny. So tell us a little bit about Jenny. Like, what do you know? I feel like
I'm James Lipton.
James Lipton. I feel like James Lipton. Like, can I speak to Jenny now? Like,
speak to Jenny now.
Well, no,
you need a big stack of blue
just like this cards like this thing.
do.
So you know, Jenny, obviously, you know, Angel. She's out to be this very pure character in relation to Rex, or at least from the way Rex views her, talks to her.
Rex views her, yeah.
She is definitely like this pure character.
Yeah.
How is that kind of informed how you play Jenny, and you can talk a little bit about that.
It's interesting because I think Jenny does have a past, and Jenny does have a history, and it's been mentioned a couple of times. You know, Antoinette makes a couple of comments and talks, and that's how you find out that our original name was Brown. And Macintosh is clearly not my maiden name, but I'm clearly not married. And Rex mentions it at the beginning that he doesn't know much about my background. But Jenny does have a past, and she's not, you know, Rex calls her Angel, and from his perspective, she is very, very pure and innocent. But she's got her own past, and she's got her own problems, and she's worked very hard to kind of not be Antoinette. She's worked really hard to get out of New Jersey, and you don't hear a whole lot of New Jersey in her voice. She's gone to business school. she's gotten her, you know, secretarial certificate and tried to make a name for herself. I think it's been mentioned that Jenny and Rex have been working together for a long time, and if it wasn't for Jenny, Rex wouldn't be a private investigator. And I think we'll find out more about Rex and Jenny's history and how Rex became a private investigator through Jenny in future seasons.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yes.
Because I was about to say, if I get that impression that they have been working together for a while.
They've got a great camaraderie.
They have a great camaraderie, and the thing about it is, when you just said it now, he doesn't know much about the past, but it's like, he's a private investigator. Like, I would feel that anyone he's going to trust with the business.
But then you got to ask, why hasn't he? Maybe he doesn't want to know. I mean, that's
true. Very true.
She's the only pure thing in his life, and I think that he wouldn't want to find out anything that would take away that vision of her being the angel and the purity. So I think there's a part of him that doesn't want to know. That's like the only light for him. Everything else is all dark and bad.
Everything's like, you know, smoke and gunfire and like the jingling of scotch in a glass. Yeah.
I tell you, I feel bad for Rex. I mean, when you think about it, even though the podcast itself has been going for, you know, several months now, and we're into the beginning of the season finale, I think about it, I'm like, man, Rex has had a bad week, because in real time, this entire season took place in like a week of his life. And
he mentions that towards the end of this particular episode. This is episode 1 of the Case of the Missing Case. Case of the Missing Ending. Yeah. And he mentions that, and you're thinking like, oh wow, this really has kind of gone from one week to the next week, to the next week.
Yeah, and this has all taken place. I mean, in the past week, he's gotten the crap beaten out of him by like 6 people. He's been shot at like 4 times.
Yes.
He's been a yo-yo in like different femme fatale hands. Like,
he's been called a private dick more times than he probably would like.
Exactly. That's a good point. Like, I don't think that. I myself, as a listener, as a fan, I'm not thinking about real time how long this is taking.
Yeah.
But when you put it that way, yeah, absolutely. This is
been a week.
This is the week from like
from hell, man.
Abe Breslau's back. He hasn't seen Abe Breslau since the Beaches. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it's interesting because I didn't even really think about it either, because it's just kind of like, man, Abe. It feels like, Abe, you keep telling him you have a case for him. Are you ever going to give him this case? And then you're like, oh, well, it's only been like a couple of days.
That's true.
It's like, for us, it's been like, we're waiting. With the Scolati case, I was like, I forgot that you guys were going to extend the case a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, 3rd episode comes, and I'm like, well, where's the that's not the ending.
Yeah, that was a 5-episode case. Yep. That was crazy.
And I was just like, oh, this is really good. Like this, it was very. Do they speak Italian, by the way? I hate to go back to old episodes, but do they speak Italian?
No, that's fine. Charlie does not. Charlie played Luca. Rachel's background is Italian. Her mother is Italian and speaks fluent Italian. Rachel does a brilliant Italian dialect, and actually Rachel Bishop, who plays Carmen Scolati, or as we like to call her, #SexyTrouble. Her mother speaks fluent Italian and lives in Italy, I believe. So they actually, she was kind enough, because Greg Google translated everything for the original script.
Of course.
And we sent the script to Rachel's mom, who translated it into conversational Italian, and then got on Skype with Rachel and Charlie and walked them through the correct pronunciation and basically gave them Italian lessons through Skype for this episode.
Awesome.
And then I told Greg he can't ever do that again in the script, because when he first sent me that script, and there was more Italian in it when he first sent it, I'm like, well, are you trying to like?
Well, are you going to put the English translation up for us?
There's no subtitles.
There's no
subtitles. I was like, there's no subtitles. No one will know what they're saying. He's like, it'll come through. I'm like, you've got to sprinkle some more English in there and talk about what they're saying a little bit. Yeah. So, which he did, but
it was pretty. I think I understood a little bit from the little Spanish that I know, and how it's a Romance language, but I was just like, wow, they're speaking Italian. And I was like, oh, they're speaking Italian, and no one just said, oh, he said this. No, they're actually having a conversation.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, this is good. I was like, do they speak Italian?
Rachel Bishop is so fantastic to work with. She's absolutely brilliant, and she was so sultry in that episode. Mm-hmm. And I remember the sexy trouble thing. She was sitting down here and we were rehearsing, and she gave her first couple of lines, and I was just like, okay, I know you're Trouble, but I need you to be sexy Trouble. And she like thought about it for half a second and opened her mouth, and I was like, oh damn, okay,
there it is.
Sexy Trouble right there.
There she is, right there.
So what can we expect without giving it anything away? And
I don't know anything. I don't.
Are you? Oh, that's right. You purposely keep some of the actors in the dark, right?
We purposely keep all of the actors in the dark.
Okay.
Yes.
We actually, our attorney, who's
That's
sitting,
me.
she's also our lawyer.
Yes.
We asked all of our actors to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Okay.
Because we don't want anything getting out. But when we send the scripts to the actors for the episodes that they're in, we only send them the scenes that they are in, so they don't even get to read the full script of the cases that they're in.
Which is also a treat for, like, me, listening to these things on Monday afternoon, and I'm just like, oh, this is the day I'm in it. Yay, there's my scene. Oh, that happens after this. This is great. Or, oh, that's why I'm here, because I was over there, or something
and
like that.
And sometimes we're recording our spots, because I remember this happened, at least in my case, too, that we're recording our spots, and sometimes we're doing it just us with no one else around us. Yeah. And then Dave, through his masterful skill, is putting it all together. I remember the scene where Hoffman is attacking everyone at the last episode of that case. I was by myself. No one else was here except for me and Randy. And I was like, oh wow, it sounds like we're all in the room.
Yep. Yeah.
No, I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you're not going to tell us what's going on.
No. I mean, I can answer some questions and give a little bit about what to expect. But
I cannot.
But Jen cannot because she doesn't know.
I don't know.
I mean, she knows some stuff, but
I signed that agreement.
Yes. And then you have to sue yourself.
You didn't write yourself in a loophole.
No, I didn't, because I'm an ethical attorney.
Yeah. Well, I think what you can expect season 2 to be a little bit darker. I know we did tell you that things are gonna blow up a little bit at the end. This is the season finale. You can expect that at the end of this season, you're probably going to be mad at our author.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, you can expect that to be left with a really big cliffhanger that's gonna make you really annoyed that you have to wait like a couple of months for another episode. So it's just like
every other TV show that you watch.
Exactly. So yeah, you can expect it to end with a big cliffhanger, and you can expect next season to be a little dark. You're gonna get to know kind of our core set of characters a little bit more.
Okay.
A little bit more about all of them, especially Anthony.
Awesome. Do you have when you're gonna do the next season? Do you happen to know when that might be?
We do actually. This weekend we had auditions.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, we were here all day Saturday and Sunday, auditioning people for season 2. We had over 70 people sign up for auditions. Wow. It was a really, really long weekend, but it was absolutely incredibly fabulous. I sent out emails today. Our first case is cast and written.
Awesome.
And we will be recording that in November. And we expect season 2 to go live at the beginning to middle of January.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So that's something that, the listeners can expect. How many episodes is this last case?
This last case is 4 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, case of the missing ending. We have been talking. This has been Rivetting Conversation. I have been riveted. I'm riveted every week. I love this show. I think that I just think it's great because it's so nice to know. It's so nice to be emotionally connected to the people who are creating the show, and I feel that for me personally, and as a podcast listener, I feel like it really comes through how much detail and the thought behind every single word, sound that's coming through. And this whole first season is all like people who you handpicked as well.
Yes.
Who you handpicked. Yes. and first auditions, it's I mean, obviously in auditions you're handpicking people too, but these are people who you like when you wrote the character, you saw this person.
Right.
So
well, and it was great with our auditions this weekend, and we really, because this was new and there was nothing for people to listen to the first season to say, hey, be a part of this. We really did handpick people that we knew would take a blind leap of faith with us and do this project with us. But what's great now is, Greg has not written, 4 of the cases that are going to be in season 2. He's only written 1 of them. So while I sent out a bunch of emails casting people for the first case, which is already written, I also got to send out emails to a bunch of people that we saw this weekend that saying, hey, we're casting you. Greg is writing a character for you. I don't know who she is. I don't know anything
That's
about
awesome.
her, but you're going to be a guest star on Rex. So he's now got a bunch of people to play with, which is fun.
We will be back here next week.
Yes.
Who are our guests next week? Well, you know, it's going to be probably someone that's on the show, so you want to be there. There'll be surprise guests. Do you happen to have any social media for you personally or for the show?
Sure. Our Twitter is at Rex Rivetter. We're Rex Rivetter on Facebook. We were recently nominated for Audioverse Awards.
Yes.
Which the voting should be available online soon at www.audioverseawards.net, and we'd love for you to go vote for us.
Yes, vote in the Audioverse. It's for audio dramas, right?
Yes, it's just for audio drama.
Please go out and vote. You can find Jen at a law office during the day.
Yes, usually.
And my name is Joe. You can find me on Twitter, but I don't go on it. So
the Twitter. Yeah,
I'm mostly on the Facebook. J Fejeran, Jefejeran. I don't care if you're gonna look. And also my podcast, The Untitled Friendship Project, which you and Greg and Randy have actually all been guests on, and we're going to be back with new episodes in November. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe.
We will see everybody next week. Thank you. Rivetting Conversations.
Bye.